Hi everyone, welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons series, part 60. Last episode we discussed on some memories that I did have on my various islands that I had in this game. In this episode we'll go ahead and try to decorate the front of Flo's house, which is on the way to Abel's sisters. I'm pretty excited to go ahead and decorate this as it's a pretty huge area. As usual, we have Isabel's broadcast here, and Freya is actually leaving the island. She did have a thought bubble when I was playing the game offline, and I decided to go ahead and let her go. This is something I think I mentioned before. Usually, when anyone actually has a thought bubble on my island, I'm open to kind of letting them go, unless it's one of my favorite villager and I really want them to stay. Either way, here is my new outfit for today. I guess we could go ahead and talk to Freya one last time before she leaves the island. Maybe in the next episode we'll get to go on another villager hunt. That is going to be pretty exciting. Anyway, I never realized that there was a message behind Brewster's photograph, which is the first time I'm actually seeing it. I remember seeing something like this with Rover, but not with Brewster, so I'm pretty excited about this one. But let me go ahead and move this away, as it's not letting me interact with the full-length mirror that I do have in my room. Now, going back to the villages on my island, I think Flo is the only villager that has been staying from the beginning. I mean, she was one of my initial starter villager and I still have her on my island. Maybe in due time we'll go ahead and switch up Flo with someone else. But I really like the penguin villager, and if I am going to try and switch out Flo, I might try to find another penguin villager in her place. Anyway, for now, let's go ahead and do a daily task before I start decorating. I'm pretty happy to have Cherry here on my island. But unfortunately, I don't think I have yet seen her interior of the house. There are a couple of my villagers who are usually outside whenever I play the game. This might be my fault, as I do tend to play the game always in the afternoon. And there are only certain villagers who are outside during that time, and I never get to visit their house. Either way, since we are here in Resident Services building, I'll quickly go ahead and check out Nook's shop. Hopefully we do have a couple of special items. And we do not. Okay, so if you didn't know, I'm actually trying to find cactus, which is a special item you'll be able to find in Nook's shop. Unfortunately, I have not found it yet. I mean, I did find a pine tree, but not the cactus, which is definitely something I'm still waiting for. I really think it's an issue with this island, because for the last islands that I have reset, I was able to find all the items that I needed very quickly, and I didn't really struggle with the items. But in this one though, I am struggling a lot. Hopefully I will be able to find the items that I really need. Anyway, I did go ahead and check out the map just to make sure that, Freya is still on the island. I did actually worry a bit, but thankfully she is. So I guess we'll get to see her today, and she might be gone tomorrow. The next thing I did was go ahead and check out Nook Granny. In this case, hopefully I'll be able to get some items, which I do. I think that's a antique table over there, and I definitely want to actually buy this one. I have been collecting a couple of antique items, and I'm pretty happy to have this table. Maybe I'll be able to kind of use this one in any of my house when I do decide to redecorate it. Right here, unfortunately, my pocket seems full, so I might have to go ahead and empty it. The reason why it's full is because I am decorating. I usually like to carry out different items in my pocket, just in case if I do want to use it while I am decorating the island. Personally, I think carrying items is easier than going back and forth to your house, especially if you are decorating a part of the island which is far away from your house itself. Now that we are here, I'm gonna go ahead and make some changes, start decorating this part. As you can see, this is the cliff on top of which we have Flo's house. Apparently she is on a stroll right here. But I'm just gonna try and decorate this island as much as possible with the items I have in my pocket. In this case, I think it's gonna be a bit more trickier, especially since I have my pocket full and I really need to kind of make some changes. I also have a couple of trees here which I think initially I had just planted because I needed a tree, but in this case I'm just gonna go ahead and take this one down. As it's not a fruit tree, I don't think I have a really use for this one. Plus I could use the extra softwood which we did get here. Very cool. I might have to go back. I have been dropping out quite a lot of items on the ground here and I might have to clean this mess up. Now, in between the last episode and this one, I decided to go ahead and craft a few DIY recipes. And I have quite a lot of them. I think I'll be able to use most of them here and see what I can actually do with it. Right, there we go. Now, please do ignore the lily valley flower that is right there. Yes, my island is 5-star. But no, I do not want to check it with Isabel right now. I'll wait until I decorate my island completely before I go and talk to her. In my previous island, the same thing had happened where I did actually decorate half of my island and saw that I was getting the lily of valley flower. So I decided to talk to Isabel where she did say that my island was a 5-star island. But after I completed the whole island decoration, when I went back, Isabel told me that the island was a 4-star because I had too many items lying around. So this might actually happen. That's the reason why I am not going to talk to Isabel first. I'm going to decorate the whole island and talk to her, see if it is 5-star. If not, we'll go ahead and pick up some of these outdoor items that I have placed and replace it with either a shrub or a flower and see if that actually works out. Right here, once again I realized that I kept Flo's house way too front in the cliff. I really wish I had moved it a bit more back as there is no other design that I can actually do behind the house. I might be able to add a waterfalls, but I have done this design for at least one of my villager houses. And since I do want each of these houses to be unique, I think I'll not go ahead with that. In this case, I just decided to go ahead and plant some pumpkin starters to, I guess, have a pumpkin garden behind her house. It also seems that my pocket is now a bit empty to the point where I'll be able to kind of pick up some of these items. There we go. As for the flower, I think I might have to relocate it. But before I do anything else, as usual, I'll go ahead and start placing the dark dirt path and the main path that is going to lead from the house to the lobsters behind. As far as the decorating goes, other than this area right in front of Flo's house, there are only a couple different areas that are left. One of the main area that's left is a huge cliff which is towards the left side of the island, as well as the pathway that goes from that cliff all the way to the back of my island. I think that is a huge area that's still remaining. There's also a very small cliff right in front of Pashmina's house where I actually had a pyramid placed, but I've never gone back to it and decorated it, so that is also remaining. It might take a couple more episodes, but I'm pretty excited to go ahead and design all of these areas. Right, there we go. This is pretty good. I might have to be a bit careful when I'm doing the path here, just because I have a huge pine tree that I'm gonna be placing in between. I definitely need to have the path wider enough to kind of cover it or go around it. In this case, I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna work with, but let's see how that actually goes. Now, I might make a lot of mistakes in this path right here. The main reason being that I haven't really played this game for quite a few days now, and I might be a bit out of touch with placing the path itself. But hopefully I'll be able to manage to create one. The main thing here is to just make sure that I have a path that's not only going to the log stairs, but also to the vine that is gonna go to the Able sisters. We after all need two paths here. I also need to kind of place a couple of items, some outdoor items like a garden chair or a table, whichever does fit in this path other than the pine tree itself. I guess you could say I always have a main item for a particular path. In this case, it's the pine tree. There were a couple other paths where we had the forbidden altar or another one of those trees. I'm really not sure about its name, but I usually tend to have a main item for a path and kind of create the path around it. It helps me to vision the path itself and have an idea on where it actually goes. In this case, I'm just gonna see if I can go around the pine tree. If not, I guess we could place the pine tree on top of the path itself. Now, there's another item which I actually remembered. It's called a wheat field. It's an item that you'll be able to buy from Nook Stop under Nook Shopping. It's also a really good item if you are having a foresty or a field kind of path. Personally, I really like that item. Unfortunately, once again, like the cactus, I did not get that item yet on my island, and I wasn't really able to use it here. But if I did have that item, I would have been super happy to kind of use it all around my island. I remember having this item in my previous island and I definitely think I overused it. But the item itself looks so good and it goes so well with this theme. If I do find it, I'll definitely go ahead and replace a couple of these items with that one. Now that we have the main path laid down, all I have to do is go around it and try to use different items. Right here, I did want to place this flower bed, but unfortunately I forgot to customize it. I really wish the bricks were of a different color, especially since I am having most of these items in a darker brown shade or like a blacker shade. So I would like to use all of my other items by customizing them to that. That way, the items that I'm using in this path will all look like they are from a similar theme. Anyway, let's see how it will actually go. Either way, I definitely do have to wait for a couple of these shrubs to actually grow before we do get a fuller idea of how this path would actually look. Right here, I decided to go ahead and use a swinging chair. This one is a unique item and I think it's the first one I have used on my island. I also had the paper lantern, which I think will go well with it. At least especially at night time, since we don't really have that much light in this area. Anyway, I also want to make sure that I do have a path that goes down to the beach right here. Initially, I did want to have a log stairs that is going down to the beach. Unfortunately, I did run out of 10 log stairs. So I guess we're gonna stick with the vines. I mean, no matter which other cliff I need to climb right now, I guess I just have to use a vine or a ladder kit. Personally, I do prefer a vine other than a ladder kit. Just because it looks natural and it does not really need any items to craft it, whereas a ladder kit actually needs a ladder as well as a couple other items, and I don't think I am at a point where I can actually craft multiple ladders, so we are gonna go with this one. In the future, if I do find different ladder kits, especially the DIY recipes for them, I'll go ahead and craft those and replace them with the vines right here. I think we are almost done with decorating this part. There's one more piece left that is right next to Flo's house, where I definitely do have to go ahead and add some dark dirt path. But before that, let me go ahead and add the pine tree. Whoops, okay, I did not mean to erase that path right there. Personally, I think that happens a lot for me. When I don't mean to reduce the path, it just happens. But there we go. Now that we have this, I definitely have to cover up these two spaces here, which I might do with the stone path as well as the pattern. Right. As for the front of this house, I'm hoping to find a special item that I can actually use. I'm not really sure what it's gonna be, but hopefully I'll be able to find a good item. As for the pine tree, this is where I'm gonna place it. I just want to make sure that I do not block the path itself with this item, as it is pretty huge. But there we go, that looks pretty good. Now that we have the main path completed, all I have to do is go ahead and make some changes right next to the tree. But before that, I think I forgot another item, which is the Torii that is right here. Personally, I think this happens to me a lot, where I pick up items to either put down a path or make some changes, but then completely forget about replacing them back. In this case, at least I did remember it before this episode ended, so that is good. Now that I do have this giant item here, I am no longer able to fit the flower bed, so I'm just gonna go with the paper lantern instead. There we go, that looks good. Maybe I'll be able to use the flower bed in another place. After all, I still have not customized it, which I definitely have to do. I might do it at the end of this episode when I visit Harvey's Island. In between, I did make my way back home, and this is mainly because I did not open up my mailbox. If you're wondering why, there is a lot of items here that I did order in between the episodes, and I am planning to kind of use a couple of these items. So here I am just going ahead cleaning my mailbox as well as getting all the other items out. Unfortunately, at the beginning of this episode, my pocket was full and I was way too lazy to kind of drop my items and get the items from the mailbox. So that's what I'm doing right here. There we go. That is all the items that I do have for now. Most of these items are pretty helpful. I'm not really sure I'll be using all of this in front of Flo's house, but it's definitely going to help me in the future, as I have a couple different areas where I do have to still design. I also almost forgot about this, but I did do a couple more designing offline. As you can see, this is the cliff I did design. Decided to go with a lot of these pumpkin starters to fill up the small cliff. Not really sure what else I could have used in the small space over there, but I feel like if I do have all of these pumpkins and other items planted here, I'll be easily able to use them for the DIY recipe in the future. Other than this, I did go ahead and create a new cliff right here. This one, if you remember, was a very small cliff that was connecting the other two. But since I had a huge area over there and wasn't really sure what to do with it, decided to go ahead and have this one. This cliff is going to connect to the other side of the cliff that is in my right. While I am designing it, I'll go ahead and show you the update. But that is a new cliff I did offline to cover up the huge area. After running around the island for some time, I was finally able to find the message box for today. And it seems like we have a new recipe. It's a scarecrow. Alright. I have never heard about this recipe and I'm pretty excited to see how it looks. Ooh. Alright, I think I can actually craft this one. I might know where I'm gonna use it. I'll go ahead and craft it out. But other than that, I also went ahead and looked around for Gulliver, who was on my island. Thankfully, I did have my swimming suit in my pocket, so I was able to find his communicator, which means we'll have a new pirate item in our mailbox tomorrow. Right here, I did have to visit Harvey's Island, mainly because I was running short on shrubs as well as the starters, so I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly buy them. I feel that no matter how many I buy, I always seem to run out of these items. Also, if you are wondering about the decoration, I have not yet completely done it. We'll go ahead and touch it up tomorrow once my trees and shrubs have completely grown. I don't really want to add the dark dirt path right now, just in case the tree that I have planted over there has some issues growing. In that case, I might have to remove it and replace it with another item. But as for today, we'll go ahead and customize some of the items I was able to order in offline. The first thing is this lighthouse right here. As you might have seen, I've gone ahead and customized it. This is the second lighthouse I'm gonna have on my island. It will be placed in the rocky bed that is right next to the ocean at the top end of the island. Other than that, I have gone ahead and ordered a wind turbine. The last one I did place was blue in color. This one I'm just gonna change and have it as red. I think some of these items are really nice. Even though you do have to spend quite a huge amount of Nook miles to actually order them, I think they look really cool. Definitely I'm gonna be ordering more of these items, especially the windmill. The windmill here comes in various colors. I really like this orange one. Probably I'll be able to place it right next to a swinging bench where we can actually sit down and take a photo with it. This is pretty cool. There are a couple more items that I definitely need to customize, so let me check it out. Most of these items are from Redeem Nook Miles option, especially this round topiary. This one I'll go with either the light or the dark green. I think the dark green one suits this one. But definitely we do have quite a few items which we can customize to the color that we need based on the island design that we are having. Pretty cool. Let me know in the comment section what kind of island design you have or what theme you actually followed. And I would love to actually visit all of your islands, so let me know if you can do that as well. Right here, I also went ahead and customized the flower bed, which you might remember me mentioning before. I'll go with the dark brown one, but unfortunately I do not have enough bells. Definitely need that. Either way, I think that's all I had for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.